Hi, it's Faye from Faye's Journal Emporium. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a minute since I've recorded anything. I want to thank you for joining me today, and thank you to all my new subscribers. And before we get started, I'd like to mention that there is a sale going on in my Etsy shop. So if you'd like to stop by and take a look and check it out, I'd really appreciate that. I'm sharing a new journal that I made for myself. It's a farm themed journal, and it's based on a video that I saw Wendy from Wendy's Journal Adventure do on some journals she made as kids. And it's got a new closure in it, and I will link the information below to her video. I've been wanting to do a farm journal for a while, not because I'm particularly a farmer, but mostly because I had run across a couple of ledgers, one of which was from the area that I live in, which is Buda, Texas, and it was owned by a large farm, and it had some really interesting pages in it. And the other thing that I have been collecting just different odds and ends, and I have a lot of memorabilia from the state of Texas from the early 1900s that I wanted to put in a journal and preserve. So that's why I made this journal. So I changed what Wendy did because she had a leather piece here, and I decided to use some denim, and then I've used little bits and pieces of reproduction 30s fabrics and some vintage buttons and little pieces of lace. So the front has a pocket, and I have used a lot of the digital items that I have are from Lorna at TaylorMade Journals, and I think her kit is called Down on the Farm. So this is a journaling tag, and then I had made this a while ago. I've used, I have a collection of vintage bottle tops, and so I've included those in some of the things I've made. This is a Tim Holtz piece, and then there's just the writing space on the back of that, and those just tuck into the front. Now, the reason Wendy made this journal, the new closure, is really unique and different, and it opens like this, so that holds the journal closed, and there's room for a little tuck spot here for a pen, which I opted not to do. I included, these are some downloads that were from TaylorMade, and I just made a little booklet with those and did what I remember about farming mostly is the gardens and the canning, and so I have taken some pieces of advertisements for canning items out of a magazine and included those, and then I just kind of made this look a little bit old. This is a built-in cabinet kitchen idea for a farm kitchen from the 30s. And then there's some other pieces, and there's a canning tag, and then some little canning labels that I stuck in there. And then there's the back of that. So I've used, this one is a Tim Holtz little milk bottle top. The digital pages that I've used are from Cotton and Twig, and I've just added a little, and then Wendy did a lot of, with her journal, she went through afterwards and did several videos on items to do the ephemera. So I got this idea from her. It's a vintage postcard and a vintage bottle top. And then I just did a little pocket here with some items in it. This is a vintage postcard that I just love. This lady looks like she would have been, it's Mary Ann Thompson, and she looked like she would have been on a farm working. And then this is one of the memorabilia that or ephemera that I have that's actually vintage. This is from 1893, and it was good for 4 months from the time that it was issued, and it was issued on November 1st, 1893, and it was for a free Novelty Works patent ironing table. And I just thought that was amazing. And so when you purchased items in their store, they filled all this in, got a little, so that when you finished filling it all out, then you would get the ironing board. So I thought that was really cute. And then some of these pages, again, are from Lorna. It's one of the stickers. And these are from Nick. And I think these are from the Old Design Shop. And I've just added, this is from a vintage gardening book that I have. And then I've added tabs with using the vintage reproduction fabrics. And this is a little postcard I made from a picture that I just absolutely love. This little girl with her bunny. I thought that was too cute not to have in there. And then this is another one that I made, and this idea I saw on a video, and I can't remember which one it was, but you use a stamp behind to stamp the fabric, and then this is, there's room to journal on the back. There's another one of the bottle tops in a Tim Holtz paper doll, and that just clips in there. Some more pages from that gardening book. And then this is from, this was the other reason I wanted to do Farm Journal. My husband found a book for me that was dated in the 1830s, and it is a British book, like a veterinarian's book, and it's all about the different kinds of cattle. And the pages on these are like cotton. They're just amazing, and they're very foxed, but they're absolutely gorgeous. And this was talking about the different types of cattle. And then this is one of the illustrations. This is an Ayrshire bull, and I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but I did use a couple of the pages to make pockets. And then this is another little wonderful postcard, and he looks so cute in his little overalls that I thought he definitely needed to be in a farm journal. And then another piece of ephemera from Lorna on the different kinds of cows. And then this is from the Old Design Shop. And this is the first piece of the ledger that I have. And because of the way it was used and put together, the joining page for this is a much later date. This was December 1948 to 1949. And I thought was really interesting. It's the different things that this was the outgo, or the receipts that the bills that they paid. And then this is another little tag that I made using some Tim Holtz, the paper from the items you get from him. And these little girls look like they were just on the farm, and they're so cute. And that clips here. And then again, I've used one of the bottle tops. It's from a vintage book on flowers. This is another Nick page. And then these are some little guys that I thought looked like they were farm hands or brothers whose family owned the farm. And this is a tag, not a tag, I'm sorry. These were used by, on the radio when they were doing music and playing the different kinds of music, they would use these cards. And this one's called In the Good Old Summertime, and I thought that went really well with the boys. And this was actually published in 1949, this particular rendition of it, but it was originally from 1929. So that's in there. And then it looked to me like they would be mowing the lawn. So this is an ad from a Sears Roebuck catalog that I pulled out. It's not a vintage one, but a reproduction. It's another piece of ephemera. And then this was a really cute idea that Wendy had that she did a video on. And you just untie that like that, and then you've got your little tag here. And that's one of Tim Holtz's little paper dolls. And then there's room, it's a belly band, and then there's room behind that for a piece of paper so that you can actually use it for journaling. See if I can get it back in there. But I thought that was a really cute idea, so I incorporated that. And here's the other half of that journal, and this was, or ledger rather, and this is 1961. And I thought this was really interesting because these were their expenses. And like they had, for hog feed, it was $5.70. And then on this side, they talk about the their income for 1962. And at auction, they sold 6 hogs for $195. I don't think you could even get one for that now. Anyway, I thought that was really cool. And I love the fact that it's written in blue ink. So I used these pages from Cotton and Twig that are their denim group. And then this is a little picture from Lorna. And I just love that, these 2 little boys milking the cows. And then this was just a little photo that I found. And this is from Graphics Fairy. And then this is a tag I made using the Tim Holtz and another one of the little milk bottle caps. Here's another piece of that vintage book. And the gardening book. And then this is another tuck spot I made. These are some vintage tomato seeds and a tag. Actually, it's not vintage. I made it look old. And then this is another ad for a plow that was from the TaylorMade kit. Then I love this. This is how to make curtains, and it gives all the dimensions for the how many rings you'll need and to hang the curtain and all of that. I love this picture with all the canning. I did can tomatoes at one point in time, years ago in another lifetime. And then this is another little tag that I made. And it has the little boys, and that's the picture from Lorna, and a little button, and then the strawberry seeds, and then a little label. And this was amazing, an amazing find. This is actually from Lloyd's of Texas, and it was to Hector de Pena. It's a 1-cent stamp on it. And this is the state of Texas land measure, and it gives all the different land measures and how they use that. And then this is the deputy attorney, in fact, for Hidalgo County here in Texas, so that they could contact them for surety bonds. And this was the government land measure, so I thought that went really well on here. And then this is the second signature. And again, this is an idea from Wendy. This is just a little flip out here, and there's a pocket here. This little girl with her prize hen, and I thought of, as soon as I saw it, I thought of a fair, and that she probably took her to the local fair and won an award for him. And then this is the actual vintage tag from Overlook Farm in Whitefield, New Hampshire, that I purchased at a flea market. And then this is another one that's part of the ephemera from Lorna. And I stuck those there. And then I found some 4-H stamps. I knew that they had made those, and I think these are from the Forts. I can't remember the date on it. It's a 3-cent stamp, and it's celebrating the 4-H. And here's another little girl with the same type of hen, and this one's definitely a lot older. I recreated a cabinet card with this picture, and that just tucks in here in a little vellum pocket, and there's a little ticket here with a little chick. And then this is an Egg Saver card, and that just tucks in there. And another little tag. And I love that because she's got her little bunny. And again, the state fair. But she's too cute. And this is a pocket here with a little little boy in the garden with his mom, and it said, "There's fun in gardens." And this was a clip from one of the gardening book that I had. And then these are actual, this is an actual piece of the ice coupon from a book from Ice Coupons, and each one of these coupons gave you 25 pounds of ice. You had to purchase the book ahead of time. And then this is another piece of ephemera from the Down on the Farm. Another piece of the journal, the ledger. And that gardening book again. And then this is another postcard, or and I just added the stamp to it, or actual photo, it's a reproduction photo, and I made it into a postcard. And this looks like a farm family. I love the little one. Some more labels. And then this is on the Ayrshire cow. And this talked about all the equipment that you would need when you're doing milking. And then this is one of the pieces of ephemera, approved dairying apparatus, all kinds of dairy furnishings and goods. And so I stuck that in there. And then this was a find. This was actually in that vintage book, and I know it doesn't date, it's not as old as the book was, but this mentions the Ayrshire cow, and if you got 3.5 gallons of milk, you could make a pound of butter. The average yield per week for a year was 247 pounds. And then it talks about how much feed and everything. I just thought that was amazing. And on the back, there's more information on something about probably a treatment if the cow was sick. And then I just happened to have one of the milk bottle lids that I had was for raw Ayrshire milk from St. Mary's, Pennsylvania. It was Kiev Farms, I believe. And then this is a little coupon that you would clip. I think it was from the sugar. And when you got enough coupons, you could turn them in and for whatever it was that they were advertising. And then this is for a pint of milk for Rose Hill Dairy. And then some stamps. Another piece of that book page. And then this is another little ephemera piece I made using the Tim Holtz packaging, and just put an area in this. This is an actual photograph, and I thought it was really cool because it looks like she's, down at the old swimming hole on the farm. So I included that. And then these are, there's a little ticket here for, I found these from a store, vintage store tickets. And then I did this huge centerpiece. This is kind of what started the whole thing too, because I love this goat. I think he is so cute, and it talks about how much milk you get, and goat cheese is called chèvre, which is French word for goat, and you get mohair from goats and all that. And I just thought that was super cute. So I decided to make it into the centerfold and make it into pockets. And then on this side I have, there's a vintage Jell-O recipe book, and that's probably from the 30s. And then another design for a small kitchen model, and it shows the floor plan. And then these are the ones from TaylorMade Journals. They're different, so they're receipts, but they're not actual vintage receipts. I have those on in the other pocket. And then in this pocket, I have this very old bank book from McPherson, Kansas, and that was the McPherson Bank, and it's just so cool. I could not part with it. And it's got two little stamps in here. The center part was gone, so I no account of his banking. And then this is a war ration book from the Second World War. And these are the coupons. And I kept that. And then this is from the book of the Bank of Lansing in Lansing, North Carolina. It's a canceled check. And then there's a couple more receipts. This is for City Meat Market from 1916. And then this is a receipt, June 1st, 1916, from F.E. Dunham Livery Feed and Dray, a commercial hauling specialty, and it just lists what they purchased. And then this particular piece is a retail dealer in uncolored oleomargarine. It's a special tax stamp. And this has a lot of meaning for me because the date on it is July 48. And at that time, I was 5 years old. And I remember my mother buying this oleomargarine in a big container like this. It was a plastic bag and it was all white. And then there was this little tiny capsule with the color and the flavoring in it that was on the top of it. And you had to pop that and mix it with your hands in the bag. And I used to think that was just great fun. And I would always beg my mom to let me do that part. And of course, my hands would give out after about 2 minutes and I'd give it back to her and say, okay, you can finish. But I just thought that was so cool when I found that. You know, anyway, I don't know how, most of you are too young to remember having to do that. My husband remembers, but he's my age. So anyway, and then this is a super cute little postcard I found of this little girl riding this pony. I don't know if you can see it. I don't want to get the glare on it, but yeah, that's a long time ago. Definitely in a farm town. And I added her. And then this talks about this little lamb, and then this talks about sheep and how to rate, how to take care of the sheep. And again, this is from TaylorMade Journals from Lorna. And then I made this little pocket here, and this was a Wendy idea using a catalog card and the little cigarette cards. And so these are some other pieces of ephemera from her kit. And then this is from the Graphics Fairy, these little chickens again. And more gardening from that gardening book, some S&H green stamps. And then I love this picture, this little boy on the tractor. He looks like he's about my husband's age when he would have been farming up in Wisconsin. And this is from an actual vintage piece from the National Bank of Commerce in Houston, Texas from the 30s. And then I think this is a Tim Holtz tag. And then a Farm Hand Company implements, and that's the little tractor, and that's from Lorna. And then the lettuce packet, and then another little label. And then the last one is, this is a vintage photo I just found, the little kids on the play tractor playing. And then I love this photograph. I've had this for a long time, and this little girl on the mule, and it was a postcard. So I had to include that. That goes here. Oops. And then in the back, this was an idea that Wendy did for the ephemera for this journal. And you use a little paper bag and do your cover. This is a great photo. And then most of the pieces of the ephemera in here are again from TaylorMade. I love this. The center one. The center one is Iowa, Nebraska lands to buy the lands. I thought that was pretty cool. So, and then these are two more pieces. This is one of my favorites. This is from Bexar County, which is where San Antonio is located. And this was Mr. Garza was the original guarantor, and Oscar Kohler paid $8.73 in state and county taxes for the year of 1909. and the property's value was $1,540. And it doesn't say 120 acres. And I just thought this was amazing. And then this is an individual tax return for 1942. And it tells how much everybody would owe if you had that. And then this is another piece of ephemera from TaylorMade Journals. And that's her. So I just had a great time making this journal. And as I said, I will link to, below to Wendy's, the video that she had on making it. And do stop by my shop and check out what's going on sale. Thank you so much. We'll see you again soon.